Absolutely. So I think everyone will introduce themselves and tell a little bit about what they're singing. I'd love some background, a little bit of story for the audience. And here we go. Robert.
I've brought Mozette's aria from La Bohème, so Quando me ho, and I'm showing off really to my lover and trying to catch the attention of another guy in the pub.
This suits you really well. It's in great shape vocally. You know, have you been working on this for a long time, or?
A couple of weeks.
Oh, it's brand new.
Brand new.
Oh my gosh! And did you have much time together?
About just today.
Oh, okay, just today. Okay, good. So I want to suggest that we work on this from two different points of view, because I really love it in your voice. It's absolutely right in terms of the weight, and it's also hard because it's got a relatively high tessitura, and you manage that so well. I want to work on a little bit musically and also dramatically, because the fun of this is in the detail, and from I both. In both respects, it was it was just too generic. You can do tons more. So there's rubato. There are markings literally in every bar in this piece. You know, retard, and then stress, and then stretta, and it's just constantly moving. And the reason why is because she owns the stage. So this is a crowded pub. Many of you probably know La Bohème quite well already, but it's crowded. there's a lot going on, and she decides that she's going to perform, basically, for everybody, but especially, of course, for Marcello. And I don't get enough of a sense of ownership of, it's awfully hard in a master class because you're thinking, oh my God, what does she think? And I'm being judged, and it's terrible. There's no worse performance situation. But if we can just start again, and it starts right from the beginning, because from the introduction, da 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 da. So it's those ding is where you suddenly say, wait a minute, all eyes on me, right? Okay. So this is where you take the stage. And even in an audition situation, the more personality that can come across in an aria like this, and the more you can be not afraid to just even do the same thing with whoever you're singing for, the more power you'll have. Because otherwise they'll say, yep, very nicely sung. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's just start from the beginning again. You know what I'm talking about, right? Definitely. Okay. How could you make that happen? How could you make that happen for people? Experiment with this, but if you're just standing there waiting for the music to start, it doesn't have the effect. Yeah. I wondered if you might start, I haven't done an audition in 100 years, but I always think of a master class as literally as preparation for an audition in a way. So I wonder if you started away from the audience and then sort of pulled yourself together to turn around and say, hello. Yes, the star is here now. So, really don't be afraid, don't be inhibited. Try and see if you can sort of, I always thought she's so seductive in a way. And if that's not who you are, that's okay. Then you play the character in a way. Think of somebody who is, or just imagine it. Okay. Now breathe. Hello. Yes. Good, excellent. Now I would start, that's so much better, because when you turn around and you make eye contact, and it's really with the whole audience, you just take everybody in and say, yeah, hello, I'm here. So make eye contact with everybody, and then it's about the breath then, as you prepare. And it's just, folks, when I walk down the street, everybody looks at me. So it's born of a confidence that says, you all come to me. But that's so much better. That's really good. Okay, good. That's much better, 10 times better. I want you to take it another 30%. So a lot of it is your posture. It's like get your shoulders a little bit, don't be afraid to present in a way. And then when you walk forward, don't be afraid, again, because she's seducing him. She's pretending to sing to everybody, but really, and also, where do you think Marcello is? Where is he? Oh. See, and I think hello. So I think for the purposes also, it's very important anytime you sing. It's obviously much easier in the opera and when you're staged and in costume. But at any point, it's so much easier if you've decided in advance, I'm going to make Marcello be over there. Okay. Because that way you can refer to the audience at large, but you can also say, e tu lo sai, and keep referring back to him to see if he's looking at you. Of course, he doesn't for half the time, but you pull him in. One more time. It's so much, this aria is really everything just about how you are Musetta, more than anything. Now, I would come out, da 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 da, already be turning, dung, 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 and then take your steps out. Quando. Okay. Okay, so a woman who's really in control and who's performing, you look very relaxed. You look a little too relaxed.
Okay.
Once you're out there, there should be something that sort of says, I'm on fire, and I can't, but I can't, I'm holding it in now because I'm in public. So just something a little bit more feline about it.
Sure.
You look sort of like, I'm trying to sing well, so I'm staying relaxed. Okay, so let's go on, but you know what I'm saying. But that's so much better. Don't be afraid to perform. You know, even in a recital setting, every little piece, you don't have to move around and dance and do high kicks. You can still be performing, you know, and acting. Even a song has to be acted, maybe just with your face or with a look or with your eyes. But for this piece, it's absolutely crucial. E la bellezza, and enjoy that word. So it's smile, you know, you really, more enjoyment in this, because she knows. It's just a matter of time. She knows her power.
Yeah.
And it would just go on. E la bellezza mia. Yeah, just that bar before. Dum. Right here. Okay. Okay, wait, like da capo a pied?
Yeah, that was two.
No. Da capo, from my head to my feet.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to say Marcello, remember? No. Yes. So one more time.
Okay.
That's much better, but I still want to see more poise, more physical, you know. Overdo it. Just for once, really, for us, go way over the top.
Okay.
Just on this line. Okay, that was not over the top at all. That was sort of getting there.
Okay.
So your sense of feeling uninhibited can go much further. Tuttari, take more time. So try to follow all these markings. Help her, because it's new for her. So if you do them, she'll come with you a little bit. Okay. So ricerca in me da capo a pied. Okay, a little bit, just it needs more juice.
Okay.
Let's go on. Yes. Okay, so let's try that again. So we start with the retard.
Yeah.
Por allor la bramosia sottil che dagli occhi. So you got to breathe there. So you need that little bit of a breath too. So one more time there.
Okay.
Now that we sort of have it where we are. I just don't want you to make you sing the whole aria 10 times. So right on that. Okay, so. You can, but you're taking too much time. You can do a little portamento there, but so one more time. It's just too much time. Good. Okay, so enjoy that a little bit more. Che dagli occhi traspira. And then you're the one who kicks off the rest after that. Okay, one more time. I want to see a little more with the text, much more enjoyment of the text, because that's seductive too. You know how you say the words, as opposed to just singing on them. One more time. Yes. Okay, so good. So let's do vezzi tender sa ha ha alle ocul. You need the double C. You really need that because then you've got a poco rallentando there. Alle ocul de beta. Just more enjoyment again. So use every time he says to slow down. It's not for tempo marking. It's because she's going to savor something that's going to go right to his heart. Sorry, he's doing a great job. You're a wonderful Marcello. He's not convinced yet. Okay. We have to work on that. Second, idai palesi. Good. Okay, a little more time. Alle occulte beltà. A little bit more time with that rallentando. Use it on the beltà. And really smile on that too, so you get a little bit more ease in the sound as well. Yeah. One more time, that phrase. Okay, one more time. So you know what it is? It's your breath. Okay, so when you breathe, expand here, because you're collapsing as you run out of breath. And then, with the collapse, you can't really, it's not very seductive. So you want to end up, yes, darling, you know, all that hidden beauty, Marcello. Yes, one more time. Just try it right there. Let me hear that. Okay, so when you start, really expand the intercostal muscles here through the rib cage. Good. Good. Much better. Do you feel how much better that was? Yeah. It's harder, obviously, in the middle of a long phrase, because when you pick your breath up in the middle, you have to then reset that again. Okay. But you're a little bit rounding the shoulders too much in general. So think more of, like, if you had your hands here, take a breath. Yeah. Well, that could be a problem, actually, if you're thinking, I'm afraid to stand up too straight. My dress might fall down. Okay, so one more time. Hands here and just think, really expand. Yes, and don't collapse. Don't collapse as quickly as you are. Yeah. One more time. Can we do that phrase again? Yeah. Good. Okay, breathe. How much better your sound is? Because it's got real air underneath it. Yes, it's more supported. Yeah. Because I have, you know, we all learn low breath, we all learn to support and to expand all the way around. But my own personal feeling and experience is that if you don't also expand here, you know, and it's not so much about raising the chest, it's really opening, and also the upper back, then I find that I don't feel that I have as much support as I would like to have. Così le fluvio del desio. Now, this, you've got this fermata here on the retard, and you've got stresses on every tutta magira. Now, what I want you to do on that F, the F sharp, is really crescendo that, because you're hitting it and then backing off. So do the opposite. So do a nice crescendo, so that then it's felice. Okay. Right? Yeah. Okay. Let's try the così le fluvio. Time, I felt like you peaked too soon in that phrase. Okay. And so then felice isn't, oh my gosh, that makes me so happy. Okay. All right, I don't get a sense of the text behind it. One more time. Okay, so what you want to do is just not give so much so soon.
On the F sharp.
No, on leading up to it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's too full on the way. Tutta, more text. Do it more with the text and with the stresses. Tutta magira felice. Così. Yeah, that's a good place to start. Okay, so, and don't be afraid on that to just really go all out.
Okay.
So once you get felice. So, you know, it's so much fun, this role. She's really fun because she's sort of, she's just not afraid to be hugely an extrovert, and also it's fun to watch her win him over in a way in this. And the more sort of suggestive you can be, and you know, part of it's the musical gesture and part of it is the physical, is not being afraid to just say, yeah, it was just so great, wasn't it? You know, it's so much about her kind of making these gestures, and she's talking about something, but that's not really what she's saying, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go on. La 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 la. Where are we? E tu che sai. Yeah, we're in the last verse now. And so this is where, and because she's so in control of the moment, this is where she really turns to him and says, and you know, how could you possibly resist this? Yeah. So let's start there. Qual canto scorrite. So just on that part. Okay, so this is not really Mozart. This is Nice Girl.
Yeah.
It's not really, and you know, it's not really quite. So it's always this sort of, you know, this sense of presenting in a way.
Yeah.
Excellent. No, I'm cheering. She's doing great. Right on. Keep going. Much better. That's so much better, right? I mean, that's, yeah. Excellent. Just a couple of things. G, really do this double G's, and Fuji, a little bit more. So ben, le angosce tue non le vuoi dire. Now, don't look, if you're going to really focus that on him, don't look away for the high note. Excuse me while I sing the high note. That'll come back to you. You know, so, yes. Non le vuoi dire soba. And you could do it sort of, if you wanted to do something, if you wanted to really think about what you're doing, you can do it, but it can't be about, oh wait, I have to perform again. So just dramatically. And then I would do more, because you can sing at piano, the last B, which is so gorgeous, da-da-da-da-da, start a little bit fuller and decrescendo. Can you do that?
For longer.
Okay. No, it's just you saying it all soft.
Yeah.
So something needs to happen on it. You know, ideally it starts forte and decrescendos because that's what he wrote.
Yep.
Try it.
Okay.
Just do non le vuoi dire so bene. Just do the end.
Yeah.
One more time. Am I out of time yet, or am I?
Yes, you are.
Oh, I am. I'm sorry. So you have to wave.
Oh,
you know,
wait,
jump
wait.
up and down, maybe.
I was
Okay.
trying tactfully to press.
Sorry. No. Wow, that's gorgeous. Yes. Wonderful job. You sound beautiful. Coraggio, coraggio. Excellent, thank you. And thank you so much.
Hi there, my name is Peter Asher. I'm going to sing Adieu Mignon from the opera Mignon. I am trying to comfort Mignon as I send her away because although she's a lovely girl, I'm not really into her in that way. And she's very upset about this. So I'm trying to be a good friend.
Adieu, mignon, courage, ne pleure pas, les chagrins sont bien vite oubliés à ton âge. Dieu te consolera, Dieu te consolera.
Charming aria. I don't know it at all. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen this opera. It should be done. I love French opera. I wish we had more of it and saw more of it. And your French is beautiful, by the way. Tell me about the character. Do you think? I mean, is he sympathetic to her?
Yeah. I mean, so the reason that she has been following him around is because it's a comic opera, but she was captured by gypsies as a child, and so he bought her freedom,
And she thinks it's because he's in love with her. And actually it's more because he's a nice guy. And he had money to spare.
Right, okay, so this is the Goethe Mignon. Okay, so he had money to spare. That's lovely. So I feel like you're so sympathetic in your portrayal. That's the thing. I mean, I would think that would be confusing to her a little bit, because it's the way you're singing it in terms of the use of portamento and the use of some of the softer sections. And I thought maybe there could be just a little more charm in it too from time to time, and it would give it more variety, because you come back to the beginning again. And does he think of her as just sort of a kid, would you say?
I think
it's a little bit like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, there could be a little bit more of that in it, you know, not patronizing per se, but in a charming kind of a way.
Yeah.
Let's start again. The other thing I would love to talk to you vocally is, because you're essaying, this is a relatively high tessitura for you sometimes, and you're going up really well, but I want to work on maybe just making sure you're not doing too much high larynx singing, because that's so tiring. I mean,
I felt it come up.
yeah, I know, it's frustrating. Let's try one more time. So starting, the beginning, how is the opening for you? Is it comfortable?
It's fine, yeah, it's comfortable.
Okay, so it starts piano. If I could hear more lines, because I'm hearing that the longer notes are punching out, and let's just start again and see if you can sing this with a little bit more legato or more shape to the phrases in a sense from the beginning, because you don't want to reach up for those first pitches, because then it sounds like a different style. Let's try again. So try again, just start again from the beginning. Because imagine that you really are sympathetic to her, but you don't want to lead her on. Try it without a portamento. Because then when you immediately say, adieu, mignon, then that sort of, that invests a lot of emotion in the phrase that maybe we don't need as much, you know. Yeah. Try more time. And really just, don't cry, you know, a little bit more of a smile, and you try to lift her up a little bit. Just the bar that you come in on. Good. So it's very important, I think, also for you to talk to Mignon.
Yeah.
For you to figure out where she is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be Marcello again. We'll give him a break. Okay. But ideally, it's just in your mind. Like if you're singing this to people, then you know that for a point of view that you're talking to someone, because you really are in this piece.
Yeah.
Some pieces we're talking to ourselves. It's an inner conversation, and then that can be really, your focus can be lots of places. Sometimes you really are. There's no fourth wall, and you really are talking to the audience. But very often we're singing to another character, and then you want to establish that.
Yeah.
It just gives us one more interesting thing to see on the same bar again. I like that without the portamento.
Yeah, I think it's more final, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. In a nice way. It took you a while to figure out where she was, right? And to sort of really get that whole idea of, you know, and she can be in your mind's eye, obviously. You don't even have to pick a place, but it's the sense that you're singing to her. It's keep going with that. Yeah. I think it'll really help. Now, when you get to this phrase, Dieu consolera, okay, so don't open up so fast.
Okay.
Keep it a little bit lighter. Usually you're putting too much weight and too much air behind the sound, which makes mes voeux so open, and that's when you're sort of, and try hard not to stick your chin out, because that's really pulling this up too. Okay. Keep it a little bit more contained. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A little more gathered in a way. Let's go from les chagrins sont bien vite. So again, les chagrins sont bien vite, sont bien vite. Think a little bit longer in the line because I'm getting les chagrins sont bien vite, sont bien, and a little too many accents with your head.
Okay.
So think more about saying the phrase. Right there, maybe.
Les chagrins sont bien vite.
That's so much nicer. Good. Okay, so that could be warm though. I like that warm. I would make it, that phrase. I liked the way you did it before.
Yeah, okay.
So you can open that one up. Dieu, God's going to console. And I would look up, Dieu te consolera. You know, what to say when you really would just like to go away. Yeah. Yes. I'm not going to console you, but God will still console you. So right on that.
Dieu te consolera, Dieu te consolera, mais ne suivra.
Nice. Did you feel better?
Yeah.
It was good. It was really good. Yeah. Don't you hate it when that, you can't do that the first time around? I know. I like that a lot. One more time. Mais suivront. Try getting up. Let's see. Just for one, sing for me. Suivre. Let me just hear what that sounds like. Suivre. With a little bit more mask. A little bit more mask. It might not work. Let me just try. Dieu te consolera.
Dieu te consolera,
Good. One more time without so much breath pressure. Very little breath pressure because you're using too much pressure, I think, on that.
Okay.
Suivra. So open it up a little bit. Suivra. Yeah, just can you start right on that? Perfect. Absolutely perfect. That was so beautiful. You don't need more than that.
Okay.
You don't need more force, pressure, or any of that. Now, then try it with the text. Yeah. It was better with the a little bit of in it.
Okay.
So the rond goes too far back.
Keep it.
Yeah. You know what's beautiful is mes voeux.
Okay.
But if you can keep it in that place in terms of the vowel, try one more time. Okay, a little more time I would do, because you've got the poco ritenuto and then a whole fermata. Yeah, that you can play with that a little bit more. I think that's great. Does it feel okay? It feels good. Yeah, I love it. I think it sounds really. Just sort of a little bit sweet. Yeah.
That's his problem, isn't it? He's too nice.
Yeah. Right, but not nice enough. Exactly. No, it's okay. It's fine. But it's sort of think Big Brother. Big Brother, maybe, And is she sobbing? Is she really distraught?
Yeah.
I mean, he's leaving her alone, presumably, right? Ken Sudaslant and all of that. Let's go on. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, so there's a funny sound here I noticed before. Puis, that's a little bit squeezed. What is that? You're trying to find that but do it without altering your sound. Puis, okay, one more time. Try. It's gone. You've gone very Kermity on us here. It's in the throat a little bit. Puis, so let's see. Take off the. Open it up a little bit more, I would say. Try saying yeah. Right. Yes. Can you hear when it goes too far into the it's a thing. Okay. French is hard, right? French is hard to sing in. Just keep it open. Again, keep it open. One more time.
Puisse tu retrouver famille, patria.
Okay, so the eval's doing it too, the eval. So you're on retrouver et famille et patrie. You're going into that place. So open those up as well.
Puisse tu retrouver
Good.
famille, patria. Puisse tu rencontrer un chemin de bonheur.
Okay, so if you could find your family
Yeah, it's
and country,
Yeah, and find sort of happiness on the way.
along the way, you know. So and suddenly you're in this sort of darker musical place.
Yeah.
And then he says, "I hate to leave you." So, you know, so it's sort of kind of, you know, I really hope you find your way, you know. But I wouldn't make it so sad because you are extricating yourself, so you're not completely sympathetic, you know. And again, it's the use of portamento that's kind of giving it more emotional weight than I think it should have. Okay, one more time. Okay, I'm only giving you 10 things to think about it. But it's great. That sound is much better without the sort of, I don't know how to describe it. One more time. Good. Much better. Not so sad. Good. Keep going. Keep going. Beautiful. Beautiful. That whole section was 10 times better. Yeah. And I think, you know, when I say to sing to someone, it doesn't mean you have a laser beam focus on that spot, because you feel kind of guilty, I think, maybe sometimes too. And when you're feeling guilty, you sort of don't make eye contact with the person, right? So it's just to have that point of reference more than anything, because otherwise it's completely generic and doesn't mean anything. Go on. This was beautiful. Let's go on. How can you do this, going back to the A differently?
Yeah, I mean, so it comes 3 times that little bit.
It does, okay.
So I think it's probably coloured by the verse. So this is kind of like, you know, I wish you happiness and success, kind of. Yes. You know, that kind of positive thing. And right. Whereas the other one is, you know, don't blame me, it's not my fault.
Yeah. Yeah, and one can even be, you know, with one foot out the door. Bye. So we definitely want to have more differentiation somehow, even though it's okay. All right, sorry. Okay. So all right, but just to think about, But it's really great. Can I just hear the end one more time before we stop? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to make you do that again. I'm sorry. Less pressure. Easy. Because when you gun for it like that, it gets hard. The sound gets hard. It's not, you lose the beauty. Mais veux suivant tes pas. Mais veux suivant tes Good. Excellent. Beautiful job. Great job. It's much better when you don't need to.
Hello, I'm Esther, and today I'm going to sing Pamina's aria Archifus from the Magic Flute. In this aria, I'm devastated because the man that I thought had fallen in love with me and was going to rescue me suddenly won't speak to me, and I don't really know why. Here
what's your name?
Harry.
Harry. Okay, so we should be introducing you too. Sorry. Beautiful job. I love this aria. I love that you don't do it too slow. I like the tempo a lot. I love the fact that it flows. Stylistically, it's really beautiful. I wonder, can I ask how old you are?
I'm 23.
23. Are you a voice major? Are you interested in singing?
Yes, I want to go and study singing, but at the moment I'm teaching.
Okay, but you really want. Okay, so because I'd like to encourage you to do a couple of things, because you've mastered some of the hardest parts of this aria, which is that your sound is beautifully even. You know, you're not struggling with it vocally, and there's a lot expressively that we can do. But I'm wondering, you have extra air that you're constantly having to express, which is we'll talk about a little bit. But also, I'm wondering if we can't get a little more fullness in your sound, and I mean, certainly, just let's experiment with that a little bit, okay? So start at the beginning again, and imagine. So right now you're singing very much in head voice, you know, on the top of what your kind of whole vocal mechanism could be. Try adding a little bit more warmth and open the sound up a little bit, and just see what happens, okay? Okay, so let's start again, because you did it on the one pitch, on ah, and then you lost it, right? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Is it have you done a ton of choral singing? Is it sort of a sensibility in your mind?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so, but at home, I'm guessing that you can probably make a much bigger sound, right? When you're playing around, like when you're pretending to be an opera singer. Yes, we all do that, right? So we all have our shower opera voices, right? So, so if you start with keep that depth in the sound on the E vowel. Now, a lot of it, just take a big breath for me. Right, and now expand here too. Okay, bend over. We can all do this together, actually. This is really good. So bend over slightly, put your hands here, exactly. Now, when you inhale, I want to see everything move and open up. Yeah, that's better. Okay, and exhale. One more time. Everybody feel your back opening up too? The reason I have you bend over is so you don't automatically do this, because it's hard to do that when you're bent over a little bit. Now, let's go to the piano and do my favorite sort of, here's where the muscles are, exercise. So if you lean against the piano, and now do the same thing, take a big breath. Oh, there it is. There it is. That's really different, okay? Now try to sing that first phrase as you open up and maintain that a little bit more fuller sound, okay? But you have to take a breath and keep maintaining that lean against the piano, so you're having to use your abdominal muscles to hold yourself up, okay? Go ahead. Okay, so good. You need to at least be in that place. That's sort of like, oh, okay, there's your voice, right? And keep your nice wide mask. You want to keep the resonance going. You don't want to lose that. So try one more time, right? Relax your shoulders. Good. Keep the vibrato on, keep the vibrato going. Good. This is much better. It's a fuller sound. Now turn around. Can you remember how that felt?
Yeah.
Okay, so support. All right, so taking in a breath is one thing. And for the taking in of a really optimal breath, which is all of our goals as singers, so you get that expansion, which starts by really using the lower abdominal muscles to open up. And then you also want to make sure the rib cage expands and your back also. There can't be any tension anywhere. The tricky bit is what to do with the breath, and that's the part that actually is very controversial. Singing teachers don't agree on this. Singers don't agree on this. So I'll just tell you what I do, and then it's basically that once you've had this breath, your optimal breath, right, and your shoulders are relaxed, and your neck is relaxed and open and free. You look very relaxed when you're singing, so I don't see any sort of things to correct other than when you go up, you raise your right shoulder. So try this again. But when you start then singing, these muscles best engage. So just like what you felt when you pushed against the piano, and you can try this at home. It's good. It'll give you. I mean, there was that wonderful Gilbert and Sullivan film, Topsy Turvy, I think, where there's one scene where the guy starts crying and says, "I can't sing without my corset." So this is, I trained with a corset when I was a young singer, an elastic corset here that just reminded, for people with bad backs, it just reminded me to remember that these muscles are there and should be engaged. So if you're leaning against something, that can do the same thing. So when you start breathing, everybody just say, shh, shh, shh. Do you feel this engage? Okay, can you feel that? Let me see again, try it. Okay, but I want to see something much more dramatic. So you're going to inhale, this comes out, opens, and then shh. Okay, good. Shh, 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 shh. Try 4. Good. Little tiny lack of coordination, but you got the right thing. Well, everybody do that. Try that. Shh, 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 shh. Good, good. And ideally, you keep this stable. So this is doing the work. So. And then you've got this engaged, right? Try one more time. Good. Now in this middle voice area, keep this sense of projecting out that way. Because the first 2 phrases are much better, I think. Don't you hear a big difference? Try it right there. Good. Do you have a pencil? Okay. All right. All right. If you don't mind, here's what I'm going to have. Actually, let's use one of these. These look new. Just sing right to the pencil. Try singing it now. Yes. Big difference. Big difference. You go. I'll go home and practice with your pencil. You know what I mean? Because it'll give you that sense of balance in the middle voice, because you're singing your whole middle voice with head voice, bringing your head voice down. It's very pretty, it's very flute-like, but it's not very singer-soloist-like.
I think it's particularly with this aria, when you want to try and float all the high bits, you end up just doing everything.
Oh, yes.
I think maybe,
yeah, so if you bring more presence to most of the aria and then can still float the high bits, that's the men from the boys. Yeah. But I think you can, I don't think you have any trouble. Go on. Ewig in der Liebe. Try one more time and just stretch the B flat just a tiny bit. Liebe. I love your sound up there. It's beautiful. One more time. It's very pretty. I don't think you're going to have a problem. I really don't. And I think you'll be much happier with your middle voice when you give it a touch more presence. So, and the other thing, okay, so obviously she's a teenager, she's in love, he stopped talking to her, and of course, what does she say? I'm going to go kill myself. you know, and sort of typical teenage stuff. So it's got it. There are three dramatic moments in this. There's a sort of, oh my God, I can't believe I was so happy and it was all going so well and it's a disaster now, to the realization, all the chromatics are her sort of, I think, thinking, what am I going to do now, you know? Because it's a very chromatic aria, and then you have to decide what is the expression of this scale. She's so distraught she can't breathe. She can only express that. You have to give a dramatic expression to everything, no matter how instrumental it is. Then Z Tamino is directly to him. You know, come on, what is wrong with you? How could you not talk to me? I'm gorgeous. You know, you have to sort of create in your mind a dramatic scene. And then when she turns back again, please, you know, so obviously, I'm going to have to go kill myself, right? So, and then she keeps coming back to him. So I want to see much more of what's happening in the scene dramatically. Wirst du nicht der Liebe sehnen? And then the second time it's, really? Wirst du nicht? Let's try that, because right now it's a little too instrumental. Let's go back to mein Herz. First time. Okay. Give it a little more time. Don't be afraid, even in the style that you're doing it in, which is, you know, more early music, fine, but give a little more time. Because that's your moment of the most distress. Okay. But beautiful. So let's go on. Z Tamino. Really an outcry. Yeah, take a step towards him. These tears. Good. Second time different. So now, try again. Good, excellent work. You really are, there's a lot more you can do. I think the thing you need more than anything is to create a support technique for yourself, because you don't have one yet. And that will help you find what your real voice is, you know, what your real potential is. Because, you know, you're obviously a wonderful musician, and then you can build on that to do these expressive things. But super work today, beautiful. Gorgeous. Yeah, thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Stephen Avis, and this is Felix Rigg, who will be playing the piano. As you can see, we're a little bit older than everyone else. I've done a degree at the Royal Academy of Music, and I'm now at a place called the National Opera Studio in London, which is kind of a bridging place before hopefully getting someone to pay me to do this for a living. Fingers crossed. And we are going to be performing Che gelida manina from Puccini's opera La Bohème. And in this aria, Rodolfo has just met Mimi, his neighbour, and she has lost her key. And instead of trying to find it, Rodolfo tells Mimi that let's not bother. I'm going to tell you about who I am. And it's a big musical flirtation. Che gelida manina.
Coming out here. I feel guilty that you came all the way out here because I'm sure you have masterclass situations like crazy in London. I often think that's almost too much input sometimes when you're in a studio situation, right?
Yeah, not many with Renée Fleming though.
Well, that's very sweet. First of all, you have such an easy top. You know, to be able to sing this piece after sitting out there for an hour is insane. In fact, anybody who needs to go and warm up, you're welcome to do that. I never could have done that. Secondly, the only thing I would say to you, because you're the thing we most need in a tenor is fantastic in you. I mean, it's really beautiful. It's not just easy, it's beautiful, your top. I would suggest, because the middle and low, you're producing in the same vertical space as the top, and I would suggest trying to differentiate them a little bit, because what's happening in the middle and low is it's not as present, and it's because it's a bit dark. And also, it'll give you more to play with in terms of text and color, and it's underpitched sometimes also in the middle voice. So let's just, if you could, I really think for me, the marker in this, what I'm talking about is Luciano, is his sort of, you always think he's singing on a plate somehow when he's in the middle voice. It's very bright. He wasn't afraid to be in a bright place. Try a little bit more let me just hear right from the beginning if you sort of had that sensibility, more high partials and not so much, because I get a sort of sense a little bit too that you're reaching, and part of it is expressive, is sort of singing to the cheap seats. But if it's more, right, I know, that's, I do that too much, and suddenly I think, oh, there went the high note. Oh, the back of my throat closed, So it's a danger, but start one more time. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, is it more Italianate sense?
Yeah, it's a brighter.
Yeah.
So instead of che geli da mani, a little bit more in that opposition. Good. A little more legato, a little bit really on a line. No, I'm hearing that little bit of a bit of a throatiness there. Keep it very high, in the mask. Nice. So then when you go up, go back to however you give it the warmth, give it the space, and a little bit of backing off, because that's perfect. That's perfect. It's only really in the low and sometimes the middle, and part of it is stylistic as well. For instance, I don't hear enough portamento.
Okay.
For the style. And when I say portamento, I mean a real Italianate Puccini-esque with vibrato portamento. I'm hearing more of a Strauss, know. So, se la lasci riscaldare cerca, or wherever you want to put it. It's up to you.
I'm so glad you said it, because we're slightly discouraged to do that in a conservatoire setting.
Oh.
Then you hear all the great singers.
Yeah, no, you need it. You need it. It sounds like the wrong style to me, yeah. I mean, no, yeah. You've taken that too much to heart.
Right.
One more time. Good, excellent, excellent. Because otherwise it sounds like you're from the wrong country.
Yeah.
And you do want to sound Italianate, but with taste, obviously, But we can't throw out the baby. Let's go on. So I still want to hear more legato. I'm hearing a sort of whoa, a little bit of hairpinning on the, and stylistically too, I imagine that it's just a little bit more, I always think of serving the phrase. It's sort of going to be right on that plate and continue in a line. Do you visualize what you're singing? Pitch-wise, do you have
No.
So how do you think of it to create this shape?
I'm trying to think long vowels, but then...
Okay. So you're listening more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which might be the wrong thing.
Yeah, no, long vowels is okay as long as they don't have dynamic to them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they have to connect to the other consonants and the rest. Try it one more time, just a super legato start. So there's no hairpinning. Okay, but with vibrato, all with vibrato, Nice. That is so much better stylistically. You had the vibrato, you had a beautiful legato. The only thing I would be careful about is that sort of is going back in the middle. Okay, I heard it at the end of that phrase. So, don't go back. Don't let it go into that sort of throaty place. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Is that a tongue? Is that the tongue going back, or?
I think it's more. I think it has more to do with the way you're opening in the back. Keep it very much in the mask. Keep it forward a little bit, And it could be that you're pushing down with your tongue a little bit in the back. Does that ring true?
Yeah.
Does that sound familiar?
It does, yeah.
Okay, because frankly, the thing that works best for that, for me, for sure, is the sort of honey drop on the tongue. Just try it on But just do the last. Al buio non si trova but an Yeah, it's the back of your tongue. It's really tight. It's tightening down and it's grooving.
Yeah.
So I would think more that you want it to relax and come up in the back. Does anybody have like are you okay with the halls?
Yeah.
You don't mind? Do you mind? Okay, I have one. I always have one with me. Thank you. Because I have tons of tongue tension all the time. It's a lifelong battle, which I usually lose, but I'm doing my best. So see, getting out my little mommy purse. So put this on your tongue.
Right.
Right now, you will discover, and mirrors are also very helpful. You know, we're not above gimmicks. No. So you will discover just only do this on ah vowel, because I gather, you know, the person who gave me this thing to work with, and I use it when I warm up, on other vowels you have a danger of choking, so that's the only reason why. This never happened, but ah vowel is safe, evidently.
Are we insured?
Yeah, are we insured, right? Just do that, just do that. That's beautiful. That's really beautiful, and it doesn't go so far back. So you don't want to push your tongue down in the back. So start from the beginning on but think more. I want to hear more mask. More Italianate. Good. Okay, so that doesn't have to be so open. Keep it there. It's more Italianate. Okay, what a big sound, right? And I bet it seemed the opposite to you, right? No, that sound projected like gangbusters. Okay, so it's more here, a little bit more here in the low. Then when you go up, then you can cover and do all those other, important things. So let's go on. You can put it to the side for the second, and we're going to take it back out for all the middle voice singing. Okay. Let's go on. Yeah.
With words?
Yeah. No. Try on the ah. Way too open. This is very casual, this conversation he's having with her.
Yeah.
You know, it's a little more cavalier. So just a little less. Yeah, and lots of mask right on that. Try one thing for me. Just hum it once. Okay. Now try it once more and like mama, 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 mama. Less breath pressure, a little bit less. Same thing, about half that volume.
Okay.
I'm just looking for the color. Keep the brightness. Okay, so what I'm after is a brighter, easier sound in the middle voice. Yeah. That never gets into it. You're right. It's absolutely the tongue. So I would work with this just a little bit, because you sound suddenly it's more Italianate. Yeah. It's much more Italianate. So try again from the beginning. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how to get it less tense.
Right. Well, part of it I think is you're using a lot of force. Yeah. So if you think of it as a sort of, but the opposite of that shouldn't then be woofy. It should be conversational, a little bit more. Like, just say the text to me. Che gelida manina.
Che gelida manina. Se la lasci riscaldare. Cerca.
So that was good. That was good. Try it one more time and saying it like, cerca. Cerca. Okay, try one thing for me. Just hum it once. Cerca. 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 Che gelida manina. You know, sort of like a pasta commercial. A little bit more in that world.
Che gelida manina. Se la lasci riscaldare.
Thank you. That's it. That's what I'm missing. That's what I'm missing in the style.
Okay.
Just and it's not volume. It's the way you sing the words.
Yeah.
Try one more time from the beginning. Che geli, che ah.
Che gelida manina, se la lasci riscaldar, cercar che giova, al buio non si trova.
See, I think that's much better with one exception. Cerca. That one, ease off that a little bit. You know, that can be warmer, a little bit warmer. Yeah. Keep going. And don't be afraid of the sportamenti with vibrato.
Ma per fortuna una notte di luna.
Now, did you hear that all of a sudden it went back into the tongue thing again, right? All right. It's just awareness. Once you become awareness, you'll be able to fix it. And it's only in the middle voice.
Should I be thinking tongue forward? Is that?
You can rethink release the back of the tongue. Ma, and don't do it by lifting the larynx.
Okay.
Ma, do it by singing over the tongue. Try to sing on top of the tongue. Think the resonance is on top. Ma.
Ma per fortuna una notte di luna, e qui la luna l'abbiamo vicina.
Okay, so when you get to equi, it's gorgeous. It is so perfect, so perfect. So I just want you to work a little more on ma, da, da, da. Part of it is if you think more mask and more width in that part of the voice, instead of ma, it's too long in a sense, right? You got it in the first couple of phrases, you still don't have it quite yet here. You want to try it one more time?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not boring you. Okay. All right. Well, you're going to be very resonant now from the halls. Okay. Because we're just going to get, okay. Don't choke.
Ma per fortuna una notte di luna.
Much better.
E qui la luna l'abbiamo vicina.
That is so much better. Yay. Really. You know, who do you work with? Just take the idea back to them, and you know, they may not agree. You know, they might really feel like you're absolutely on track. And obviously, I don't want to upset the apple cart and suggest something that jeopardizes anything that's already working. So it's just a thought.
Feels great.
It's okay. Good. Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming out here. Thank you. I think, So. We just left a few minutes at the end in case you had any questions. You're all singers now. I mean, digested all of that. Singers, anybody? Questions? Yes?
You mentioned that French was a difficult language to sing opera in. I wondered which language do you find the most difficult to sing in, be it standard opera, fair, or Elvish?
Elvish, I love it. Well, I really love languages. So once you learn a diction technique that doesn't tie you up, and then you can basically apply it to all languages. But for me, I would say the hardest languages now are the ones that are the hardest for me to learn and pronounce. So Portuguese kills me. It's the diphthongs and the nasals, and for some reason that language is so foreign to me. Russian was very hard in the beginning. Czech was hard, that there would be a syllable with no vowel, 7 consonants in a row, and I just said, well, I have to sing something. So, but I really love to sing in French because I sing well. It gives me more, It helps me with resonance, and I sing lighter in French. But I speak fluent German, so German is where I'm probably most at home after English. English is the easiest. But on the other hand, most English speakers have the hardest time in English because they don't know how to pronounce well and be understood in it. I had really good diction coaches that helped me. And as a soprano, it's still the hardest for us because we're singing up here where we don't speak. And so imagine, I always say, imagine trying to say something with absolute clarity when in the middle of a yawn. That's basically what we have to do. So it's hard.
Can I ask you advice on nerves before singing?
Yes. I have had a lot of problems with stage fright over the years, and nerves and dryness too, which I have recently, I said, oh, I'm dry. Well, I'm not dry, I'm nervous. So I imagine that I'm eating a lemon. When I'm on stage and I have a patch like that, your mind has tremendous control over the body, which, the medicine hasn't quite embraced that yet, but it's true. And that's one way if you imagine you're eating a lemon, suddenly your saliva glands produce saliva. So that's one thing to do. And the other thing to do is to acknowledge it as a symptom of nerves. And a lot of people say that hydration is the single most important thing you can get right for your voice, and to keep just taking 2 sips of water at a time, because you can drink a gallon of water, but it's really maintaining that sense of hydration that's important. Yes?
Can you explain a little bit more about the leaning on the piano thing that you were doing with Esther?
Yes. Well, it's basically an outside indicator that something's happening here, because. Yes, exactly. It's about sort of, in a perfect world, so I don't know if you can see me at all, but so now I'm just leaning against it and I'm relaxed. So if I take a breath, so that pushes me away from the piano a little bit if I'm really expanding the abdominal wall. You can try it just by pushing against with your hands and feeling that sense of expansion.
And I was feeling the same sort of distance back from the piano, keeping that constant while singing.
Almost. So it's not constant, it's you're resisting the collapse of that. So resisting is a nice word, so you never want to push and you never want to resist so much that you stop the air. But that's sort of what support is in a way, is you resist that collapse. And you do it intercostally, and I also feel it's important to do it also up here. So the whole body works a little bit like a tank, and you fill that up with air, and then you maintain that sense of engagement with the muscles. And I'm purposefully avoiding words like push or, you never want that sound, the football sound. So, anything else? Yes.
I was wondering how the tongue is connected to the larynx. So if you push on the back of your tongue, does it raise your larynx? Or if you release it, does that make a difference?
I find, I don't actually know the answer to that question, really. I should know, but I don't teach enough to I need to go back and restudy the physiology because it's changed now. Now there's a whole science around the voice that's most prominently, the studies are most prominently done in Scandinavia. So I'm just learning about this now myself. So there are answers to those questions, but when I was trained, it was all, smell a rose, dear. And everything we learned was through imagery, and we had Gray's Anatomy, but there was less knowledge about how the whole thing really functioned. Naturally, this was a really long time ago. But there's no question, I think, and some people teach to groove the tongue. I find that I sing better when the tongue is flat, relaxed, and forward, and that means up and back. So that's why the honey drop really helps that. And the minute I can hear tongue tension in the sound usually because it gets that sort of thing in it. And for me, I just have difficulty with my top when I haven't warmed up enough and thinking about it enough to get that functioning well. That's the most important thing I almost have to do when I'm singing. Unruly tongues. Okay, one more.
So when you're warming up, tongue tension or something like that would be the sort of thing that you're looking for, get your voice to move and all this sort of stuff.
Yes. So my warm-up is about, my favorite now, believe it or not, is the basic lip trill. And unfortunately, is nice, but is better. So for me, because it has me using just a little bit of voice and all the way through the range, and it keeps me from singing with too much weight. So that's important, and then the tongue tension piece is incredibly important. Just the physical, the connection to your body, and making sure that things are moving, the parts are moving, because as somebody once said to me, if you have tension in your upper lip, it can ruin your singing for a day. So it's very tricky to get everything coordinated. Well, thank you so much. It's been a real pleasure, and thank you for singing. Thank you.